Hello, Lou Hamilton from Audible Elegance of Cincinnati, Ohio. My store is located a couple doors north of the original Montgomery Inn and across the street from Montgomery Cyclery. And we have a webpage, www.audibleelegance.com, where I do a monthly blog. We also do work on Facebook, Instagram, and X. As you may notice, my background is a little different. That's because I'm sitting in a step-down unit where my wife is currently at. She's got heart problems, and tomorrow we're going to go to the ICU where they're going to take a real serious look at considering a second heart transplant. So it's quite a journey. So that's why we look a little different here. But I mention that because it's consistent with the reason for this video, and I'm not going to talk about audio. I'm just simply going to introduce probably one of the most beautiful funerals that I've had the pleasure of witnessing, and we're going to do a link to it, and we're just going to let you watch it, of a incredible sailor aboard the USS Oklahoma that was sunk at Pearl Harbor. This young man lost his life and in the process earned the Medal of Honor because he stayed below deck and with a flashlight guided as many of his crewmates out of there that he could before the ship fully capsized. He was recognized for his service. A year later, and the family was presented with the Medal of Honor, but his remains were not identified. And then about a year and a half ago, through really the incredible efforts of the military and people who really care, they managed to identify his remains, along with a couple other sailors that have recently been buried. But they took the time to honor him and to bury him in Arlington National Cemetery, which is quite a privilege. Obviously he doesn't get to enjoy it, but the family was honored for the great deeds that this young man did, well over 75 years ago. So let's take the time to look at it, because this is what Memorial Day is all about. It's not about looking on YouTube or CNN or CNBC or whatever and trying to find all of the Memorial Day bargains for grills, dresses, sneakers, you name it. Memorial Day was never about a shopping spree. It was about remembering those people who served this country, and principally those who died in combat. If you didn't know, Arlington National Cemetery, in fact, was Robert E. Lee's home, which was seized by the Federals at the beginning of the Civil War, and as they accumulated losses, they were buried on his property. So there was a bit of, shall we say, a bit of spunk on the part of the Union about that. But in the first place they chose was Mrs. Lee's rosebed, to be honest. So, but that's where, that's Arlington National Cemetery, and it's a great honor. And so, please take the time to watch how the U.S. Navy honored the incredible sacrifice that this young man made for us. So there we are.